You know, behind every pharmacy counter, there's this incredibly high-stakes operation happening that, let's face it, millions of us totally depend on every single day. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and look at how artificial intelligence is stepping in to solve one of the biggest, most nagging problems in the system, making sure you get the medicine you need right when you need it.
We've all been there, haven't we? You rush to the pharmacy to pick up something important, and then you hear those words. Sorry, we're actually out of stock on that. It feels like such a personal, annoying inconvenience.
But what if that moment isn't just a simple hiccup? What if it's a huge red flag, a symptom of a much, much bigger problem, a sign that the whole pharmaceutical system is stretched thin, living on a knife's edge? Let's dig into this delicate balancing act. Okay, so at the absolute heart of every single pharmacy is this massive challenge. How do you perfectly balance your inventory? This isn't like a bookstore, where an extra copy of a novel just sits on the shelf. No big deal. We're talking about medicine. The stakes are unbelievably high.
And there are two main ways this whole thing can go completely wrong. On one side of the coin, if you overstock, you get expired medicine. That's literally money being thrown in the trash and capital that's tied up and can't be used for anything else. But on the other side, and this is the really scary one, if you understock, well, you're directly risking patient health, you're shattering customer trust, and you're forced into these crazy expensive emergency orders. Either way you lean, the consequences are serious.
For decades, pharmacies have tried to walk this tightrope manually, or maybe with some super basic software. But as our medical needs get more complicated and supply chains stretch across the globe, those old-school methods, they're really starting to crack under the pressure.
So why exactly are these old ways failing so badly? Well, a lot of it is just pure guesswork, basically hoping that this year's flu season looks exactly like last year's. That makes the system incredibly slow to react to, say, a sudden spike in illnesses. Then, you factor in simple human error in counting, and you're pulling highly skilled pharmacists away from helping patients to count pills in the back room. It's just a perfect storm of inefficiency.
And the cost of all this inefficiency it's just staggering. $35 billion. That is the estimated annual loss in the U.S. just from expired medicine. To put that in perspective for you, that's enough cash to build dozens of brand new, state-of-the-art hospitals every single year. This isn't just a pharmacy problem, it's a massive, massive drain on our entire healthcare system. All right, so here's where the story takes a really interesting turn. When you're facing a problem of this scale, you need a completely new kind of tool. And that tool is artificial intelligence. It's basically poised to give this entire system a desperately needed intelligence upgrade.
So, what in the world is AI-driven inventory? Let's break it down.
Think of it as a super smart system. It uses a type of AI called machine learning to just chew through mountains of data, figure out what medicines are going to be needed, and then automatically places the orders to keep the shelves stocked just right. Not too much, not too little, the sweet spot.
I love this quote because it really hits the nail on the head. The goal here isn't to replace the pharmacist, not at all. It's to give them a superpower, an intelligent sidekick that can sift through all this data and basically see into the near future with incredible accuracy.
So how does it actually pull this off? Well, first, the AI analyzes everything: past prescription data, seasonal trends, even local news about health outbreaks. Then it uses all that info to predict future demand. Next, it completely automates the ordering, making sure things arrive just in time. And finally, and this is the magic part, it learns. It's constantly refining its own predictions, getting smarter and smarter with every new bit of data it sees. Okay, so we get the how, but what's the real-world impact? What does this actually mean for us? Because this isn't just about making a pharmacy run a little bit smoother. The benefits here ripple out and affect every single one of us. Just look at this. The difference in accuracy is honestly night and day. Manual systems, they often have an error rate of around 15%. That's a pretty big risk when we're talking about your health. But AI-powered systems, they can slash that error rate all the way down to just 2%. That is a huge leap in reliability. And that incredible accuracy translates directly into cost savings. Check this out. Almost half of the savings come from tackling that massive waste problem we talked about earlier. But a full 30% comes from optimizing staff time, which means pharmacists get to spend more time with patients. And another 20% comes from getting rid of all those expensive last-minute emergency shipments. It just makes the whole system smarter. At the end of the day, the financial savings are great, sure, but the most important result, The real bottom line is this: better care for you and me. With the right medicine always on the shelf and pharmacists freed up to actually talk with us, we all get a safer, more effective healthcare system.
Now, as amazing as all this sounds, the path to a fully AI-powered pharmacy isn't exactly a straight line. Let's be real, there are some pretty significant hurdles we have to clear before this becomes the new normal everywhere.
So, what are these roadblocks? Well, for one, the initial cost to set this up can be pretty steep. And trying to integrate this shiny new AI with pharmacy software that might be decades old, that's a huge technical headache. Then you have the absolutely critical issues of data privacy and security. I mean, we're talking about our most sensitive health information here. And finally, there's the human element. You've got to train staff and, just as important, get them to actually trust the AI's decisions.
So this all leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on. Right now, the goal isn't to replace the human expert, it's to give them a superpower. But as these AI systems get smarter and smarter, how is the role of the pharmacist and our entire relationship with healthcare going to change? It's a future that's probably getting here a lot faster than any of us think.